Welcome to another edition of Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting on DJ Impact. And I got all of the Vegas Bad Boys here with us. So shout out to you all and shout out to everyone who's watching us live. Make sure you throw your comments in the comment box, no matter how you're watching us, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, or on Twitch. We want to hear it. All right. We got three good topics tonight. And why don't we just go ahead and get right to it? It's time. Vegas Bad Boys of Podcasting present
1, 2, 3.
Count Talk.
Count Talk, baby.
All right, so let's get to our first
1.
count for the night. The Usos defeat the New Day and will become the longest reigning tag team champions in history. This is from CageSideSeats.com, and this is how it reads. It says, after spending the past week hyping a tag team championship match with the ultimate stakes between the Usos and the New Day, WWE went ahead and opened this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown in Indianapolis with it, and they were greeted with, quote, "We want Sammy," end quote, chants. Okay. That only happened once, a couple of times during the match, but still it shows you how over the man is everywhere that a match for the record of the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history would devolve into fans asking for someone who wasn't involved at all. And in fact, not even in the building, off dealing with a, quote, personal matter, end quote, as we were told. You won't be surprised to learn they put together yet another strong match in a long series of them. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston got a few near falls that led to their becoming increasingly desperate to finish off their foes. They were defending their record after all. It also gave them the strength to kick out of a near fall or two from Jimmy and Jay, who realized just how deep they would have to dig to take that record. They have been champions for 481 days, and because they won't wrestle for the titles again before Monday, they will break the record on that day. All right. So, Sin City Steve, this is your article. What's your take?
So I think that it really speaks to the longevity of these guys. 481 days is a very, very, very long time. And even if, they do 2 TVs a week, maybe defend the titles once, twice a month, still it doesn't take away from this achievement. And I think that, wrestling the New Day immediately before, and essentially the line was mentioned on commentary that the New Day were acting as gatekeepers for this record. I think that really kind of it elevated the match. And instead of it being yet another chapter in the New Day versus the Usos cycle or story, or however many times they've gone at it, this one felt like a main event type of a match, and yet we had it to kick off the show.
Yeah.
So I think everything was expertly done with this. I say what you will about the rest of the Bloodline storyline. It can be plotting at times, but it's definitely great to see this team solidifying their names as one of the greatest tag teams in WWE history, if not the greatest.
Yeah. All right, look, let me throw this. Seems like Michaels, you have something you want to throw in there?
Well, no, it wasn't 20 years for New Day to win the fucking to do that many days. It didn't take them that long, John.
Right. Right. So let me just throw this out there, and you guys just tell me. Normally, I bounce a question between Simon Street and Matt Michaels, but I'll just throw it out there for all three. First off, the match was on fire, like I talked about. They always put on a great match. I will say that I feel I could make a case that I still believe that somehow New Day should have won that match. And I think what it comes down to sometimes is you have your legacy versus what's practical. It only makes sense for the Usos to have the belt. So I'm not going to take that away. It's no reason why that they shouldn't have the belts. On the other hand, I think that New Day has built a legacy that's important that maybe should allow them to have that reign for just a little longer. If it was up for me, it was up to me.
For just a little longer.
No. Hey, hold on.
20 more years, bro.
Hey, listen, what I'm saying is, if they could have somehow won that match, and then maybe, who knows, maybe by the end of the match, they're re-challenged. Maybe the tribal chief says, this is bullshit. You guys coming back here without titles. You better get back there, figure another way. And hell, maybe they had a match by the end of SmackDown and they got their titles back. But guess what? They would have had to start over from day one, holding that. And you would have had the New Day still continuing. No,
and then what would have happened? 480 fucking more days to break the record. So you can't just do that, dude. Come on.
Yeah, you can. Of course you can.
Come on, dude. Come on.
The bottom line is they would have held it for that long. Look, there's been titles that's been held a lot longer.
Yeah, but you're basically suggesting that the Usos not have broken the record. Period.
At least not this time.
But it would have been over another fucking straight year of them holding the belts to break this record again. You don't get
That's a long ass time. That's a long ass time.
Come on, dude.
Well, Impact, you said it accurately in Wrestling Talk that not everyone was going to agree with you. So props.
I don't disagree.
I think you're on your own island on this one.
All right, Simon Street, go ahead.
I don't disagree in the sense of what you were trying to go for, Impact. I see to where that legacy could have been something that was good. But here's the problem. What we mentioned earlier, the time it would have took if they lost them belts. I mean, come on. 480-something days, the Usos still be the champions. That's a long time. Or even the New Day. Anybody.
Why can't Usos be champions for another 2 years?
I'm not saying they can't be the champion for another 2 years. My point that I'm saying is do we all really want to see that? I don't know. You may be the only person. That's okay. But I will say this.
Really quick, Simon, I just thought of this too. The difference here.
It's not even a full 2 years, by the way. It's 400. So we're talking a year and some
But the thing here, and this just hit me, Simon, and I do apologize, but the idea of having two guys stay healthy enough to wrestle
exactly
through that time period, it's insane. So
I was just about to say that.
I think my biggest fear is now they become almost forgotten. At least they had that to hold on.
No, absolutely not. No.
I don't know.
Let me ask you this question. Are you a fan of the New Day?
I am a fan of New Day.
Okay,
I
have
have
the New Day.
shirts.
They hold another record.
What's that?
How many championship reigns have they been? They're about 8 times. So they still got a couple more, at least 6 more years in the tank, possibly. You mean to tell me they can't win those tag team belts over again? There's other records, is what my point that I'm saying, right? So they won't be forgotten. They have gone in the history books as being literally the standard. Like they said it in their promo on Monday Night Raw. They literally elevated the tag team. Without the New Day, the Usos would have been, in a pond showing out. They needed somebody that they could go toe-to-toe with in a land where, let's be real, tag teams were very Mayweather. They weren't consistent. At least the Usos in the last 10 years almost? 7? Am I close to that? Maybe 10 years, Michaels? So in about the last 10 years.
I don't want the New Day to become like the Alpha Academy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh no.
Get out of here.
Come on, DJ. Blasphemous. 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 That you
Listen,
even say
I
Alpha
don't want them to
Academy?
start jobbing for other.
What?
Listen, I'm just saying. I'm
Oh
just
my
saying.
God.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
I'm just saying.
Let me drink some water.
Dude,
Woo.
they won't be jobbing to other people. If they're losing matches,
Guys,
it's because of the fact that they're helping
hug it
other guys grow up.
They really,
They're
they
helping
nah,
guys
they really
mature.
are. Good point. Good point. Look,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say this to close out my quick little segment on this. All right, I will say this: it's amazing that we got an opportunity as wrestling fans to see this actually happen. Two healthy teams, one team take over and surpass a record. A lot of times we would see that shit happen before, and it play out towards these older guys who probably could only go, if at best, 3/4 of what they could have been. These guys are still in their prime. So for that, as a wrestling fan, thank you.
I appreciate it. Let me go over to Matt Michaels. I'm sorry, you. Oh boy, I knew this was going to cause a fire. Matt Michaels, go ahead, man. What's your take on this particular topic?
I think we've all expressed the take.
Okay.
It's that
That's
we're
smooth.
all happy they're breaking the record, and New Day does not have to worry about their legacy. And as Scoop said here, they sell so much merch they could never become the Alpha Academy.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, listen, dude, if you want to do something good for them, why don't you write a letter to Big E encouraging them to get better?
Yes.
Or I could just buy their new shirt.
You could do that. And then write Alpha Academy on it. Same legacy as Alpha Academy.
By the way,
they
I
don't
like,
need
to
I like
argue.
Alpha Academy. Let me just say, I'm trying to make a
I like
point.
Alpha Academy too, but look, at the end of the day, prime rib steak at a 5-star restaurant ain't the same as a Burger King burger. Shit.
All right, y'all. Let's get right over into our second count. CM Punk makes his first public appearance since All Out. And what do you know? It's from CageSideSeats.com. What are these guys paying us? All right. Let's move over into this particular article here. It reads, aside from social media posts supporting his wife's work, we haven't heard from CM Punk since his explosive remarks at the All Out Medium Scrum. That changed on November 10th when Punk went back to one of his other jobs, color commentary for Cage Fury Fighting Championship, a regional mixed martial arts promotion that airs on UFC Fight Pass. Punk joined, as usual, CFFC partner John Morgan to call the action from Seminole Hard Rock Casino in Tampa. Perhaps notable, unlike when Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks appeared at a Los Angeles Clipper game earlier this week, Punk was not billed as having any connections to All Elite Wrestling. That doesn't really tell us anything, that the rumor mill and the fact that Elite's return is currently being promoted on AEW television hadn't already made pretty clear. But after being introduced by Morgan on the broadcast, Punk did crack a joke that could have been referenced to, quote, brawl out, end quote. But it could also be interpreted as a general reference to his combat sports past. Now, no word on how often Punk will call CFFC action going forward. He did it fairly regularly prior to his return to wrestling in August 2021, but not much while working for AEW. Now that he's said to be negotiating a buyout of his contract with Tony Khan's company, his calendar may allow him to focus more on his MMA broadcasting career unless he signs with another wrestling company. Okay. Simon Street, this is your article. What's the take, man?
I just, I wanted to put it out there because it's actually a smart move on CM Punk. Whenever you're waiting for negotiations and shit, you shouldn't be just willy-nilly and sitting at home, waiting for that shit to sort itself out. Sometimes these things can take a while. Buyout is not as easily as what you may think it is. So he's doing one of his regular jobs, and if, from what this article said, it's a job that he's already done before. So he's keeping himself, I believe, somewhat relevant. I know a lot of people out there are saying, CM Punk's eventually going to be in WWE, and that may possibly be true. To what capacity, how long, or what, we don't know. I have no idea. But I am saying at the end of the day, at least he's keeping himself busy. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. We all got to work. And it's just nicer for him because once this negotiation goes out and your contract is bought out, what was the original contract for CM Punk at AEW? Was it like a 3-year deal? Was it a 3-year deal? Man, that's man, I just wish Tony Khan would buy out my 1 year working. He's getting 3 years paid out. Shit. You still working? Kudos to you for work ethics.
All right, let me go over to you, Sin City. So we got CM Punk doing some little extra work on a MMA event. Anything there, man? Is he just trying to? I mean, he don't need no money. He was just bored? He just wanted to do something.
I mean, obviously, as you mentioned, he had the connection to CFFC before he jumped back into wrestling. Whatever. I mean, clearly we know that he's not going to get in there and actually fight because, we saw how that worked out the last time that he tried that shit.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I guess all that CM Punk is really good at as far as fighting is, cheap shotting people in the back and having his friends throw chairs at people and bite them and stuff. I don't know. Realistically, good on him getting another payday. I did see, in the photos and videos of his appearance, looks like as if he trimmed off his old man beard, which is good. He definitely looks a lot younger than what he did when he was old and tired and working with fucking children in AEW. So good on him. Whatever, Brawl Out is what it was. And yeah, hopefully he can find work. And it looks like he is. I don't think he'll go back to WWE. I could be dead wrong on that, but I don't believe that he's going to be going back into WWE. He's definitely burned his fair share of bridges in the pro wrestling industry. So yeah, and this is coming from a former CM Punk fan. So that sucks, but
man,
maybe you could do a horror movie again. He did that horror movie for Netflix. I forget the name.
I would pay to see CM Punk get killed on screen.
Well, you should watch that horror movie. I wish I had the name of it so you could watch this on Netflix. Just look up CM Punk Netflix. He's on a horror movie and he doesn't get killed. Sorry, spoiler.
Matt Michaels. Yeah, we got CM Punk doing some extracurricular activities. What? Okay, we can barely see that. Let's see. What do you?
You can't see that. Just read it to us. Z's sleeping.
Oh,
I love this. It's like charades. Oh, hold on. So
he fell asleep.
He's fading out.
He's fading. Yes.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, CM Punk. Go to sleep. That's all I think about when I see CM Punk. So fuck him. Whatever. Fuck that dude. Who cares?
Damn.
And
what?
By the way,
he reps your city, by the way. So just remember that.
Oh, I know. It's fucking horrifying. I know. Fucking ass like that. Fucking
which one would you choose? Him?
I can't believe that Matt Michaels and I actually agree.
That is pretty funny. Hey, Matt Michaels, who would you choose between Kingston or Punk? If you're gonna get jumped, who would you want? Kingston or Punk?
Wait, if I had
Eddie Kingston or CM Punk? If you're in a situation, you're about to get jumped.
Wait, I'm about to get jumped?
Yeah.
Then I'd rather get jumped by CM Punk because I know that.
No, not getting jumped. I'm talking about if you're about to get jumped and you need a friend.
Oh,
Eddie Kingston or CM Punk?
Then I take Kingston because I know Kingston can fight. I don't understand how this guy could be a color commentator for fucking MMA. When have you seen him fucking do it? It's like taking a fucking 12-year-old little leaguer and making them a color analyst for a fucking major league game. What the fuck? Screw this guy. Screw him. Fuck him. And I'd take Kingston over him on any day. Period.
All right.
Wife beater and all. There you have it, folks.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, like John said,
that guy ain't hurting for money.
No, not at all.
Like John said, he's no longer straight edge. Damn. All right. Let's move over into our 3 count.
3.
And that one is WWE officially retires one of its championships. That's from comicbook.com. And this is how it reads. WWE officially retired the WWE 24/7 Championship this week, as confirmed by WWE.com on Wednesday. The website has officially removed Nikki Cross as one of its active champions and now lists the 24/7 title as one of its inactive championships, putting its timeline from 2019 to 2022. The title was introduced in May 2019 with the same 24/7 defense rule as the Hardcore Championship had back in the early 2000s. And while it produced plenty of viral moments, the title immediately disappeared from TV once Triple H took over WWE's booking in late July. From that point on, the title was only seen and defended at live events, lended up to a number of shows where multiple people would win the title before Dana Brooke would win it back. She finally got the chance to defend it on this week's Raw and lost to Cross, and that's not Karrion Cross, who promptly dumped
Might as well be.
dumped the title in a trash can. Quote, I'll do whatever I want with it. Dump it on the floor, inside the trash, outside in the dump and incinerator, bury the thing in a graveyard. Please, by all means, try and argue with me. Try to stop me. I welcome it, please. Honestly, I won't bite, end quote. Cross wrote while posting the video from Raw. The title's history ends with R-Truth as the longest reigning champion at 423 days across 53 reigns. All right. This was your story. Mr. Michaels, what's your take?
First off, you said the key thing there, and that is the 24/7 belt had the idea of being defended 24/7, which was a callback to the hardcore belt. The thing was doomed from the beginning because fans thought they were going to get the hardcore title. And when that didn't happen, WWE did not have a good plan in place for this belt in terms of it's 24/7. But there was nothing that made it 24/7. We saw nothing like the hardcore version where you saw them at a fucking Chuck E. Cheese and, running around trying not to get pinned. They did nothing like that. So, and it also, you look at that title, it does nothing for you. It did nothing for the company. It didn't make anyone. And the interesting thing is you had belts like the European belt, which in its moment meant a little bit of something because it was only around the IC belt and the heavyweight championship belt and the tag belts. So you had it meaning something. Mm-hmm. This didn't mean anything because you already have one of the stupidest things in wrestling, the WWE adapting and taking in the US title when they already have an intercontinental title. Mm-hmm. Which means that if you're intercontinental champion, you're a US champion. It made no fucking sense that they did it other than the stupid, to keep that lineage alive for WCW. So you already have two belts that are already, at that level of that secondary level. You also had tag team titles that were doubled. So you had ample enough belts. Plus, the belt that WWE has never been able to do anything with, and they've tried over the years, is the lightweight belt or the cruiserweight belt or whatever you want to call that. That has come and gone so many different times going back to the early 80s. And the idea with that is if you can't even do something with a belt like that, this 24/7, which had no definition of what the fuck it was other than it could be defended 24/7, had no chance in hell. But it did give us some cool, not only was R-Truth 53-time champion, the longest reign, and you want to talk about longest reigns there, Mr. DJ Impact.
Absolutely.
Reggie, 112 days. 112 days. Now, if it were you would have had Reggie lose that belt 5 times over because it's 24/7 before he'd win it back and then, keep it for
I wouldn't do
another
that.
5
How
minutes.
many segments?
Let me-
How many segments would have we've had to endure just to see that result?
Probably 2, the way the 24/7 belt changed.
Pretty much.
Tucker had the shortest reign. Remember him, guys? Tucker?
Yeah.
He had the shortest reign at 4 seconds. That's right. That title, that match, quote unquote, was 4 seconds. Youngest champion, Bad Bunny, at 26 years old and 342 days. And the oldest champion was Pat Patterson at 78 years old and 184 days. But lightest champion, Alexa Bliss, at 102 pounds. The heaviest champion was the Revival. Yes, FTR, at a combined weight of 446 pounds. And I bet no one remembers that they actually held that title, the 24/7 title, together. So there you go. What a belt. What a fucking history to something that ends up where it should be and was meant to be.
Simon Street, this was a question that John threw out there, and I thought I'll just pose it. One last question I have to ask. He said, anyone else think Nikki Cross missing the trash can was either on purpose or made a funny statement on its quote legacy, end quote?
Oh, I thought it was purposely done just so it'd be a louder sound versus it actually making in the trash can. It made for a better sound. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so hot garbage it misses the trash can where it's meant to go. I think we can all pretty much say that. Remember when we were all kids and we created those belts when you would play wrestling? I know I did. I created a belt with crayons and shit and cardboard box. I think everybody had a brown belt like Daniel Bryan's Earth belt. But besides the point, we all had a belt, and that belt had more significance and more memories tied to it, and prestigious title reigns than the 24/7. Horrible idea with no long term at all. It was. I don't know who created it, who thought it was cute.
His name was Vincent Kennedy.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. I mean, it was just, I just, to this point, I think we are doing better acknowledging the greatness of the 24/7 championship way more than what it even deserves.
We once had a champion here at Vegas BadBoyz of Podcasting, but I think that guy threw the championship belt in the garbage since we haven't seen it in years.
No, that's
I think a tree took it from him one time. That tree, man.
I do remember that.
Formidable. He's pretty solid.
That was the number one contender. That was the fiercest challenger.
And it wasn't the first time that DJ Impact got wood.
Yeah. He got that early in the morning. Got his hands around the whole thing.
I have some problems here. John made a comment here that was absolutely ridiculous. He said it lost its credibility when Byron Saxton beat Corey Graves. I just want to tell you, John, just so you know, Byron Saxton is a wrestler. So why could he not beat Corey Graves within 10 seconds? Why can that not happen? It can happen. I'm going to say that, John, you're having a rough night. And we all have those moments. So
you know what? I gotta stick up for John. Look. Byron Saxton is so goddamn bad in reputation that one of us could beat somebody in WWE, and it would be more of a reputable loss if they have to recognize it than Byron Saxton.
Oh boy. All right then. Sin City Steve, what's your take on the 24/7 title, man?
Oh, wow.
Are you crying?
I'm actually mortified. I have to take this opportunity to pour a little out.
Didn't you just pour that on your keyboard?
No, I just on the ground.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, it'll be missed.
I think that is the legacy that Vince really wanted to leave for his company and for WWE as a whole, and for professional wrestling as a whole. Yes, of course, people just doing inside cradles and surprise roll-ups repeatedly with absolutely no storyline or any kind of rhyme or reason. I think
Wait, are
that's
you
the
talking
last
about
thing.
AEW?
Oh, I
FTW
kind of
championship?
figured that you were going to go there. But in any event, I mean, it is a somber occasion because we I think that we all learned that not even the trash can wanted that fucking championship.
That's a good one.
May it
I'ma laugh.
rest in fucking piss.
I'm gonna be laughing my ass off. Next Dynamite, you got Hook come out with the FTW championship and the 24/7 championship.
Oh Jesus! No, the FTW
Taking all
championship's
bitters,
bad
eating
enough.
potato chips.
The FTW championship's bad enough, man. It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
Would you say it's on par to be garbaged?
If FTR was smart, they'd bring out the 24/7 belt because they held it. So might as well throw it in with your belts.
Fucking might as well. I mean, what's one more championship on the show?
Kenny Omega.
Yes.
I think he was
Exactly.
on the phone right away. Can I get that belt, guys?
Hey, can someone get that belt out the trash can, please?
I will say one thing about the 24/7 title, and that's the last thing that I'll say about it. To be honest, it really does suck what happened with R-Truth at the NXT show. Because quite frankly, he should have been the last one to hold that championship, and he should have been able to, ride into the sunset with that championship, because it really did become synonymous with him. And it was a great way to get him on TV on a regular basis and provide some comic relief in a time when, quite frankly, we did need some comic relief.
Yeah.
So it definitely, the wrestling purists can can it. And we love to crack jokes about it, but realistically, it definitely filled a need. And R-Truth should have been the last title holder for sure.
Can I say one last thing in regards to this? Right now, ladies and gentlemen, WWEshop.com, WWE 24/7 Championship replica title belt is going for, used to be $399.99, now slashed down to $279.99. I guarantee you in about a week, you'll be able to get this pure, beautiful replica for half that price as it goes down.
They don't bring that shit down. So that's the thing. The funniest thing about all this is that stuff like the replica belts, unless they're doing like a sale, they don't.
I've never seen them go down. You're right. I'm looking at it right now. I don't see none. They slashed the shit out of this price. They said, or you can make 4 interest-free payments of $70 with Zip.
Exact same deal the wrestlers had to make to wear the fucking belt.
You get your own special 24/7 catering voucher and catering. Get all the fresh foods.
Oh my God. Well, there we go. We did it, guys. That's our 3 count for tonight. Good stuff as always. I guess I just want to tell everybody to, as we move into holidays, to make sure you just prepare to have a good time with family and friends and just enjoy the holiday. This is the time where we do that, and just take these moments in. You just never know, when you're may not have that opportunity to do that again. So just keep that in mind as we move closer into the Thanksgiving holiday. All right. That's just kind of my shout out, final words for everybody, going into the week. But let me go over to you, Simon Street. What would you like to tell the good old folks out there?
Just want to let everybody know the 24/7 championship may be dead, but the greatness and goodness of humanity that can prevail over greed, tasteless wants and desires. You can be a good person 24/7. You just put a little effort into it. So keep that alive. And like I said, we all in this together. We're a community, no matter how different we act.
No doubt. All right. Sin City Steve, what you want to tell the folks?
Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the stuff that you guys do. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. Special shout out to all the brave men and women. And thank you for everything that you do and have done for us and the sacrifices that you've made to allow us to do what we love to do. This past Friday was Veterans Day. So if you didn't thank a veteran on Veterans Day, do it tomorrow. Do it the next day. They should have more than one day. And last but not least, repsports.com, reppsports.com. Go there for all your pre-workout, weight loss, and general energy needs. Again, that's repsports.com. Use promo code Vegas at checkout. Save yourself 15%. And incidentally, just to cover my own ass, I was saying that I would prefer to see CM Punk get killed in a horror movie, not in real life, just to cover my ass so that he doesn't try to sue me. Thank you.
Well, you might just get a chair thrown at you and bit by one of his
Exactly.
friends.
Or I might get bitten.
He's not going dude, he can't sue you because your mom's name is on your bank account.
There you go.
Matt Michaels, what's up,
Shit.
man? What you gonna tell the people?
That's such a Colt Cabana thing to do, to have your parents on your bank
Oh.
account, man.
Completely. No. Yeah.
17 years ago, Eddie Guerrero died. There you go, everybody. Happy New Year.
Oh, God.
As he laughs.
Yeah. What?
Wow.
Okay.
I'm gonna call Dominic Guerrero. Have him whoop your ass.
I'm still laughing at the fact that just the idea of CM Punk suing Steve.
I know, right?
He's the kind of dick who would do it.
That's why I had to say it. Because
Hey,
you never can tell.
Well,
Didn't
maybe
Cardi B do the same thing to that one YouTuber? Something like that for slander?
It probably.
Well, maybe
That's
you-
why I had to clarify.
Well, listen, the good thing is that it's going to be hard to find where Sin City Steve lived to serve you. So,
Oh, no, it's
Right.
pretty easy. You see, he lives on the corner of West 90.
Don't you still live in Gotham City with the gargoyles and shit on top?
That's right.
oh my God. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll do it again following weeks. All right. Till then, take care. Peace.